Attention. On behalf of the administration, faculty, staff, and student body, I would like to welcome you to the 57th Annual Veterans Memorial Ceremony. I am Dr. Dana Body, the proud principal of Escambia High School. At this time, if you would turn off all cellular and electronic devices and leave them turned off for the duration of the ceremony. I am honored to welcome and introduce our school district guest, Deputy Superintendent Ms. Sheena Payne, Escambia County School Board members, District 1, Mr. Kevin Adams, District 2, Mr. Paul Fetzko, District 3, Mr. David Williams, and District 5, Mr. Bill Slayton. And our County Commissioner, Mr. Michael Kohler.
Go Gators!
That's right. The student-run memorial service is as much a part of Escambia as the orange and blue that we so proudly wear. And we thank each guest that has joined us this morning. Next week, our school and country will unite as we all celebrate Veterans Day. Many cities and towns will hold parades, and we will thank our friends, neighbors, and family members who have faithfully served. Although we look forward to our time and celebration, today's ceremony is a somber remembrance of the Escambia alumni who have fallen in service to our country. To the parents, relatives, and friends of our fallen heroes, we extend our heartfelt condolences. The sacrifice that these proud Escambians made in order for us to enjoy our freedom should never be absent from our hearts and minds. They are true American heroes, and they will forever be Escambia High School's finest. Again, welcome, and thank you for all being here today.
Parade the honor guard for the parading of colors.
Honor guard, pose.
Please stand for the marching of colors and remain standing. March on the colors.
Done. Breathe in. I'm.
Dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Done. Order. I'm.
Retire the colors. Please be seated. My name is Mackenzie Wolf, Cadet Lieutenant Commander of Escambia High School Naval Junior ROTC. I would like to introduce Jillian Willoughby of Escambia High School's National Honor Society.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jillian Willoughby, and I am the president of the National Honor Society of Escambia High School. I would like to dedicate this speech to the veterans that are being honored today. Growing up in America is one of the most unique experiences anyone can live through. Growing up in this community is even more special. With a large military influence in Pensacola, veterans are all around us. Growing up in this community, I learned the value of the military and just how amazing each person is that have served or is currently serving. As many of you are from military families, you also understand the pressure it puts on the veteran and his or her family. Time away from home, hurt and loss is brutal and should not go without recognition. From the time we are little, we learn that the men and women in uniform are some of the most courageous individuals that one can encounter. Each morning, we say the Pledge of Allegiance and reflect during the moment of silence. We say those words, but the veterans of our country decided to put them into action every day. Their love for our country was so great that they made it their life decision to fight for our right to grow and prosper each day and keep the American dream alive. These individuals are strong, brave, and beautiful. Our veterans have gone to far places and that we may only see in books or on television. Yet they were not reading or watching these struggles. They were living them each and every day. Whether they are on land, sea, or in the air, the sacrifice is still great. From the early 1900s to present day, we have honored the dedication of our men and women in the military. Although we have one day each year to commemorate our veterans, we need to say thank you every day. We should say thank you to those who have served in the United States Navy, Marine Corps, Army, Coast Guard, and the Air Force. We must also recognize the policemen, firemen, the National Guard, and all others that maintain peace and order in our country. Today, we honor the veterans of Escambia High School. These men and women walk the same halls that our students do today. They sat in the same classrooms, attended pep rallies in this gym, and cheered their team to victory in our stadium. With each step we take, we do not forget those who were here before us. They volunteered to defend our country and to preserve our freedom and the freedom of others around the world. They gave the ultimate sacrifice. For the families and friends of veterans here today, remember this: the legacy of your veterans will not be forgotten. Because of your veteran, America's heart is still beating with a steady drum. Their impact on all of our lives is vibrant and alive. Thank you for allowing them to serve our country and for standing by them. I know that our community and generation will continue in the tradition of service to our country, just as those did before them. Whether it is through the military or government service, we will use the memory of our veterans to propel us to greatness each and every day. Let us praise America's veterans for their patriotism, their vow to protect our country, and their commitment to freedom. Let us promise they will not be forgotten. God bless. Thank you.
It gives me great pleasure to introduce the superintendent of Escambia County High School.
On behalf of the superintendent, Mr. Leonard, the deputy superintendent, Ms. Sheena Payne, will be speaking.
Good morning. On behalf of the superintendent's office and Mr. Keith Leonard, we certainly do bring you greetings. It was John who said, "Greater love hath no man than this, than to lay down his life for his friends." And so we thank God today that we have those that have made the ultimate sacrifice. They have laid down their lives for their friends. And so we come today to commemorate, to honor them, to stand in place and say thank you when no one else. We are their voice today to be able to say thank you for what they have done. I am ever so grateful because I go to sleep at night and someone else is serving for me. I didn't do it, but someone else says, I don't have to know you to stand for you. And so for those that have served, for those who have made up their mind that they will serve, and for those that are serving right now, and certainly those that we have honored for the last 57 years in our county and in this school, we say thank you. We say that we will continue to lift you and your family in prayer for giving us, for loaning us your loved ones and your family members. We say thank you again on behalf of the superintendent's office.
I would like to introduce Cadet Ensign Layla Arthur, who will share the history of the memorial ceremony.
Good morning. I am Cadet Layla Arthur, and it is my pleasure to take part in Escambia High School's memorial ceremony. This is the 57th consecutive year we have gathered here to honor the memories of Escambia High School alumni who have gone forth, giving their life in service for protection of our great country. We remember. To the parents, families, friends of this very respected group of Escambia graduates, we are honored that you are here with us today. This ceremony has no peer or counterpart throughout our school district. Of all programs and ceremonies undertaken in the Escambia County School District, none is more important nor as revered as ours is today. This is a most positive reflection on the administration, faculty, staff, and student bodies, past and present, that such a program has continued. Yes, we remembered. Today's ceremony originated as a service project of the Red Cross Service Club. The Red Cross Service Club also provided the first memorial stone on the front lawn of Escambia High School in 1975. The stone initially contained the names of 14 honorees, all of which lost their lives in Vietnam. We remember. In 1978, Major Horace H. Fleming's name was added to the stone. Having been declared missing in action for several years, Major Fleming became Escambia's 15th casualty of the war in Southeast Asia. We remember. Since 13 other Escambia graduates have fallen in the line of duty to their country, it brings the total number to 27. Captain Reagan McKay joined the role we honor when his aircraft crashed off the coast of Somalia in January of 1995. We remember. Then, unfortunately, 3 more additions to our list of honorees appeared, 2 in February and September of the year 2008. Jarvis Washington and Denise Darlson of the United States Army. One is in June 2021, Isaac Cook of the United States Marine Corps. All made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. We remember. 27 former students, among them athletes, scholars, poets, all Escambians sat in the same bleachers, ate in the same cafeteria, and roamed the same halls as you. Some were even taught by the same motivating teachers. It is my hope today's ceremony is meaningful to all of you. It has been both a privilege and a pleasure to share this time with you. Thank you.
We're going to go back for one moment and make sure we do the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you'll all join me and stand, there is a flag in the back of the stadium if you'll turn your attention. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
The Escambia High School Band will now play The Armed Forces, The Pride of America. pleasure to introduce today's guest speaker, Sergeant Major Freddie Tellis, USMC, retired.
10, 10,
Sergeant Major Tellis is a native of Pensacola, Florida. His father and mother, the late John H. and Millie Tellis, poured into his life and encouraged him to be whatever he wanted to be. Sergeant Major Tellis attended public school in Escambia County and graduated from Booker T. Washington High School. Sergeant Major Tellis entered the United States Marine Corps soon after high school and started on a journey that took him to over 25 countries such as Cuba, Bermuda, Japan, Germany, Belgium, Malta, Korea, and countries in the continent of Africa. He was sent in harm's way, participating in 3 combat tours of duty in Desert Shield and Desert Storm, actions in the Civil War in Somalia, and conflicts in and around the area of Bosnia-Herzegovina. Sergeant Major Tellis received the Meritorious Service Medal on 2 different occasions, signed and awarded by President Bill Clinton for his service to the country. On his retirement from the United States Marine Corps, Sergeant Major Tellis was hired by the school district of Escambia County as an NJROTC teacher at Escambia High School. He is married to the former Monica Paintner from the parish of St. George, Bermuda. Sergeant Major Tellis is a husband, father to 3 children, grandfather to 10 children, 16 great-grandchildren, and a father figure to hundreds more.
Italian seats. Good morning. This mic on? Good morning. It is indeed an honor and a privilege to stand here to do this. I want to thank Senior Chief Jackie Thomas for tricking me into doing this. But I really want to thank Dr. Body, Ms. Tinsley, and Mr. Culp. Your support, your encouragement, just the way that you backed us up and gave us whatever we needed, anytime we needed it, is commendable. And I hope the school board members here and the superintendent and deputy superintendent know that and give you a big pay raise, but leave you here in place. And to our honored guests, I know there's a Delta up here somewhere, and there's an AK out there who's looking up here at her. I know they have a little thing going, and I want to recognize Miss Malia Adams. She was assistant principal when I was here, and then she was principal at Bellevue when my granddaughter was over there. And because of her pouring into my granddaughter is a very successful young lady right now. And so I thank you for what you did, Ms. Adams. And the school board members and commissioners, but I have to single out Mr. David Williams. I do it every chance I get. He married a young lady from my church without my permission, but they have had a successful marriage, I think, so far. But I want to thank you all for being here, because I know you all are busy, and you have a lot to do. So thank you for being here to support the faculty and student body of Escambia High School. I really appreciate that. If you served in the armed forces of the United States of America, would you please stand? If you served, or if you are currently serving, would you please stand? The people you see standing wrote a blank check payable to the United States of America. And the amount block, they put my life. And for the 24 people we're honoring, that check was cashed with their very lives. And so those of you that are standing, I honor you, and I think that everybody ought to stand and give them a round of applause. We're here to honor the members of Escambia High School who died on active duty. But to the student body, especially the young lady with the blue sweater that's not looking at me, to the student body. They served and they gave their lives so that you would have an opportunity for an education. I'm going to tell you one war story, then I'm going to move on. During the war in Somalia, one of the bombed out school buildings, first off, those students don't know what paper and pencil is because they couldn't afford to pay for it. But one of the bombed out school buildings, they're sitting on the ground in the dirt, and in front of them, they draw a square in the dirt with their finger. The teacher gives them a math problem, and they write with their finger in the dirt to solve the problem. Teacher comes by and checks the problem, and if they got it right, they smooth the dirt over with their hand, and then they go on to the next problem. They don't have air conditioning, toilets, lunchroom facilities, padded desks, and seats. They sit on the dirt, and they are happy that they are able to go to school, even though a bomb may go off or somebody may try to kill them. I know you may not want to hear that, but those are the dirty things in life that we need to really remember. So you have an incredible opportunity to a free education, and I pray to God that you don't waste your time. To the faculty, I'm going to ask that you give the students grace. And being a preacher, we know what grace is. That's favor you did not deserve. I left here 15 years ago, and I've been back several weeks. And on my first day back, before 12 noon, I had 2 students in front of me crying about terrible things happening in their home life. So teachers, faculty, give your students a little grace. However, hold them to high standards. We need to quit dumbing down information and requiring them less and lowering the bar. The 9 years I was here, we tried everything we could to raise the bar, and every time we demanded more of our students, they rose to meet expectations. Hold them accountable and responsible, but give them just a little bit of grace. To the parents, I wish that every one of these students here had parents like me. My mother and father poured into me. They were believers, they were saved Christians, and they told me I could be whatever I wanted to be, even though for the first 8 school years it was illegal for me to go to school with white kids because of racism. But they told me I could be anything I wanted to be, and I believed them. These people you see sitting up here, and these adults, they did not get here by themselves. They went through hard times. They had somebody that believed in them. They had somebody that poured into their lives. But everybody don't have that. A young lady told me that her mother tells her constantly, "You're going to drop out of high school." Why would you tell your child that every day? Why would you give your child that negative spirit? So she told her mom, "Well, didn't you drop out of high school?" Her mom got quiet and stopped telling her that. Pour into your children, but not just your children. Pour into any of your children's friends, because you may be the only positive adult that they'll ever see. Do that. But hold your children responsible and hold them accountable. Hold them responsible, hold them accountable. To the students, some of you have bouts of depression and anxiety. Depression is yesterday, anxiety is tomorrow, but you lose today. Depression is what happened in the past, what happened to me, what I didn't do, and you concentrate on that. Anxiety is waiting for the other shoe to fall. Anxiety is worried about what may happen tomorrow. I know about that. But you have to get up, shake it off, and keep moving. You really have no other choice. Some of you are soft as tissue paper. Some of you as weak as a strand of spaghetti. And you may laugh, but I'm serious about that. Some of you still have your parents having to wake you up to go to school every day. And you're a high school student, you should be getting up on your own. Take responsibility for your life. Be responsible. You have to toughen up. I want to tell you something. People can pat you on the butt, rub your head, wake you up, cook for you, do all these things. But when you get out into the real world, it will beat you up. The world does not care about you. So you're going to have to toughen up, take responsibility, and move forward. Why am I saying this? Because the names on this program, these 24 names, sacrifice that you may have this ability today. But let me tell you this. You are worthy. Your life matters. My students know this. The number is 400 trillion to 1. The chances of any of us being born is 400 trillion to 1. That means that God did not put you here to waste your life. You are worthy. You have something to give. And if you don't take advantage of it, you are wasting it. 400 trillion to 1. Yes, ma'am. You right there, Miss Blondie. You just turn your head, blonde ponytail. You are worthy. You are valuable. Keep laughing. You will pay for it later. Trust and believe. Your life is valuable. They did not sacrifice for you not to do all that you can. You are worthy. You have a responsibility to other people to be a success. 400 trillion to 1 to be born, and you made it to your teenage years, that's even more. That adds to the number. Almost every week I see on the news a teenager is shot and killed over stupidity, a life wasted. I talked to a young man in ISS, and I know I'm rambling, but it's all right. I got the mic. You got to sit there and listen. I talked to a young man in ISS, 14 years old. He's telling me if I don't change my life, I'm going to die. 14. At least he's aware enough that if I don't change something about me, I'm not going to make it. He said, I want a junior. I want a son to carry on my name. And I told him, all this gray hair on my chin and in my head, you will never get there if you don't change. So I need you to understand, I don't even know you, some of you, but I love you because I know how valuable you are and what God has put in you. Don't waste it. These names on this list, some of them, 2 of them are valuable to me. Senior Airman Paulo Jesus Ortiz was one of my students. He was killed in a training accident in an Air Force base in North Dakota. Staff Sergeant Javaris Washington, United States Army, a young man who, when I moved back to Pensacola, he was on the boys' usher board, and I helped to mentor him. One of the most outstanding students, young men, soldiers you would ever want to meet. He was killed when his Humvee turned over on him in Kuwait. So there are 2 names on here that are dear to my heart. And his grandmother is out here today, Sister Bernice Moore. And so I'll end it on this. Oh, by the way, this is my speech. I'll end it on this. I'm proud to be here. I see Sergeant Major Francis out there. He took my place when I left. He's recently retired a little over a year ago. But there are so many people that care about you students, whether you know us or not. And Dr. Body, when I walk in the morning, I see students and I speak to them. They have their head down. They're not used to people even speaking to them. They have a lot of issues, some of it from COVID. They've lost some time, and that's why I ask that you give them a little grace. But I need for you to hold your head up high. Have some pride about yourself. You may have had a hard life, but you're still here. You have survived 100% of your bad days. So you're going to make it. You have no choice. I will hold you accountable. I thank you. I thank these wonderful cadets up here who give me grief every day, every chance they get. And I thank you for receiving me. And Dr. Body, I need to go back into retirement. I'm not used to getting up at 6:30 in the morning. There's another scripture, Ms. Payne. It says, I can do all things through Christ who gives me the strength. You have the power within you. All you have to do is believe in yourself. And if nobody else believes in you, ignore the noise. Don't worry about likes and clicks on Instagram or Facebook. Do not determine your worth on followers. Determine your worth by what's inside of you. If nobody cheers for you, be your own cheerleader. God bless you, and God keep you is always my prayer.
Please stand for the parading of colors. Parade the colors. Parade the honor guard for roll call. You may be seated. Parents and family members of our deceased graduates are asked to please stand as the name of their loved one is called. You may be seated immediately after the presentation by senior class members. Roll call will be read by Deanna Finley and Eden Jackson. The tolling of the bell will be performed by Naomi Arzola.
Corporal Richard Anthony Grover, United States Marine Corps.
Say Marine Corps, remember the S is silent.
Lance Corporal Victor Edward Chase, United States Marine Corps.
Private First Class Russell James Peak, United States Army.
Sergeant Donald Pierce Smith, United States Army.
Chief Bartley T. Stokes III, United States Navy.
Petty Officer, First Class, Wallace B. Johnson III, United States Navy.
Second Lieutenant Robert E. Tuttle, United States Marine Corps.
Second Lieutenant James Monroe Rushing, United States Marine Corps.
Private First Class James D. Carey, Jr., United States Marine Corps.
Private Donald W. Moore, United States Army.
First Lieutenant Thomas E. Williams, Jr., United States Marine Corps.
Private First Class Michael D. Sprinkle, United States Marine Corps.
Lance Corporal Paul J. Lafreniere, Jr., United States Marine Corps.
Warrant Officer Leo Claude Hester, United States Army.
Lieutenant John A. Williamson III, United States Navy.
Major Horace H. Fleming, Jr., United States Marine Corps.
Staff Sergeant John Edward Strasser, United States Army.
Sergeant Jeffrey Scott Key, United States Army.
Senior Airman Jadonjo Prince Lowe, United States Air Force.
Lieutenant Stephen G. Ricksecker, United States Navy.
Sergeant First Class Carl Joseph Buck, United States Army.
Captain Raymond Norval McClay, United States Marine Corps.
Staff Sergeant Donald Hall, United States Air Force.
Senior Airman Pablo Jesus Ortiz, U.S. Air Force.
Staff Sergeant Javaris Washington, United States Army.
Staff Sergeant Darius Johnson, United States Army.
Sergeant Isaac Cook, United States Marine Corps.
I am the flag of the United States of America. I was born on July 4th, 1776, and the Declaration of Independence is my birth certificate. The bloodlines of the world run through my veins, for I offer freedom to the oppressed. I stand for many things and many people. United States Army. I am the nation. I have fought in every battle of every war for more than 225 years. Gettysburg, Normandy, Guam, Hiroshima, Korea, Saigon, Grenada, Beirut, Panama, the Persian Gulf, and Afghanistan, a score of places long forgotten by all but those who were there with me. I was there. I led my sailors, soldiers, airmen, and Marine. United States Marine Corps. I follow them. I watch over them. They love me. When freedom called, I answered and stayed until it was over. I left my heroic dead in the Flanders field, in the ocean, the Pacific, and the Atlantic, the steaming juggles of Vietnam, the waters of the Persian Gulf, the sands of the Desert Storm, and the caves of Afghanistan. I was conceived in freedom, and God willing in freedom, I will spend the rest of my days. May I always possess the integrity, the courage, and the strength to keep myself unshackled, to remain the citadel of freedom and the beacon of strength to the rest of the world. This is my goal, my hope, and my prayer. United States Navy. I have been soiled, burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of countries I've helped set free, and sadly of my own country. And when it's by those whom I've given the freedom to express their right, it hurts, but I shall overcome, for I am strong. I have slipped the bonds of earth, and from my vantage point on the moon, I stand watch over the uncharted new frontiers of space. United States Air Force. I have been a silent witness to all but America's finest hour. But my finest hour comes when I am torn in strips to be used as bandages for my wounded comrades on the field of battle, when I fly half-mast to honor my soldiers, and when I lie in the trembling arms of a grieving mother at the graveside of her fallen son or daughter. I am proud, I am free, I am brave. My name is Old Glory. Long may I wave. Dear God, long may I wave. United States Coast Guard. The flag of the United States of America. One great nation that you've so proudly served and honorably defended. The flag which we so honor is a true emblem of our unity and our power as one nation. We have lost a true sailor, airman, soldier, and Marine. Thanks to your commitment, dedication, and sacrifice. You will not be forgotten. Please direct your attention to the prisoner of war and missing action table as we will give honor.
Battalion, attend, hut, present, arms. order. Arms.
The small table is set for one, representing the fatality of one prisoner, alone against his or her suppressors. The table is usually set close or within sight of the entrance to the dining room. The small table is round, showing our everlasting concern for the POWs and MIAs. The cloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their intentions to respond to the country's emergency call to arms. The single red rose signifying the blood they may have shed and sacrificed to ensure the freedom of our beloved United States of America. This rose reminding us of the families and our friends of our missing comrades who keep the faith while waiting their return. The yellow ribbon on the vase stands for the yellow ribbons worn on the lapels of thousands to a man with unyielding determination, a proper accounting of our comrades who are not among us tonight. A slice of lemon reminding us of the bitter fate of those captured and held as prisoners in foreign lands. A pinch of salt denoting the tears of our missing and their family who long for answers after decades of uncertainty. The Holy Bible represents the strength gained through the faith in the country founded as one nation under God. To sustain those lost who are missed, the light in the candle reflects the light of hope which our country, which lives in our hearts to illuminate their way home, away from their captors to the open arms of a grateful nation. The glass is inverted, symbolizing the inability to share tonight's evening toast. Let us remember and never forget their sacrifices. May God forever watch over them and protect them and their families. Continue standing for the reading of the watch by Cadet Lieutenant Junior Green Isabel Harala. Remain standing as Peyton and Mr. Ryan from EHS play taps. Concluded with the singing of our alma mater and the retiring of colors.
For many years, these sailors, airmen, soldiers, and Marines have stood the watch. While some of us were in school learning our trade, these heroes stood the watch. While some of us were in school learning our trade, these heroes stood the watch. Yes, even before some of us were born into this world, they stood the watch. In those years, from the storm clouds of war were seen brewing on the horizon of history, they stood the watch. Many times, they would cast an eyesore and see their families standing there, needing their guidance and help, needing that hand to hold during those hard times, but they still stood the watch. They stood the watch so that we, our families, and our fellow countrymen could sleep safe and soundly each and every night. Today, we are here to say, the watch stands relieved. To our fellow shipmates, soldiers, airmen, and Marines, rest in peace, you stand relieved. We have the watch. Trumpeters, please sound the taps, for they will stand watch no more.
Battalion. Present. Arms.
They are relieved, but never forgotten.
Battalion. Order. Arms.
Escambia High School alma mater by the EHS Cordis. You may be seated.
You will please stand for the alma mater.
Tall
standing for the retiring of colors. Retire the colors. Post the honor guard.
Honor guard. Post.
This concludes Escambia's High School 57th Annual Memorial Ceremony. Thank you so much for attending.
Thank you for being here today. Out this way, and there will be people to lead you to the Innovation Center. Students and teachers, if you guys will report back to your third period class. Thank you so much.